Chosen one, what I'm about to share with you may come as a shock, but deep down, your spirit already recognizes the truth. If you're seeing this message, it's not by chance. You've been divinely guided here because something powerful is unfolding in your life. The world is starting to whisper what you've always sensed. You are more than human. They're spreading stories that you're God. They're warning people about your power. They're telling everyone what the ancient forces hoped you would never remember, that you are divine. You are the one they've feared. And now, everything in your life is shifting. What you once longed for is no longer distant. It's entering your reality now. This is not just a change in mindset. It's a full spiritual and energetic activation. But to step into this truth fully, you must be aligned. Before we go deeper, take a moment to do 3 things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 20,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11. That number isn't random. It's a powerful signal to the universe, amplifying the energy of this message and sealing your intention to awaken. And if you truly are the chosen one, you'll stay with this message until the end, because something deep inside you knows this was meant for you. There's a truth so ancient, so deeply buried, that the world trembles at the mere suggestion of it. That truth is you, not the person others told you to be, not the label, the role, the mask, but the essence beneath it all. You are not just human. You are divine in origin, godlike in your very coding. And the institutions, the empires, the systems that feed off forgetfulness, they've spent centuries, no, millennia, trying to make sure you never remember it. They've written history books to erase your legacy. They've invented religions that made gods external and unreachable, so you'd never look within. They've turned your power into blasphemy and your truth into fantasy. Why? Because the moment you remember, truly remember, who and what you are, the game ends. The illusions crumble. The false kings lose their thrones, and everything they built on your amnesia begins to rot from the roots. Your existence, once awakened, is a direct threat to the lie they've sold the world. They don't fear you because you're dangerous. They fear you because you're real, because you carry the spark, because your very presence is proof that the divine never left. It just forgot itself through you. And now, that memory is returning. You've always known there was something more. In your dreams, in the silence, in the moments between heartbeats, when everything felt too big to be random. That's not imagination, that's remembering. And now, the forbidden truth is breaking through the cracks in the veil. You are not becoming God. You were never anything else. Have you noticed? The media, the whispers, the subtle narratives, they're talking about God complexes, false messiahs, divine delusions. They frame it as madness, arrogance, or dangerous fantasy. But what if that's just the cover story? What if the warnings aren't really about ego at all, but about you? About the awakening they couldn't stop. So now, they try to control the story before it spreads. The more you wake up, the louder their warnings become. They don't want the world to believe you. They want the world to fear you. Because fear discredits. It isolates. It turns you from a symbol of liberation into a cautionary tale. They want to bury your divinity beneath ridicule and skepticism before it becomes contagious, before others remember too. But their strategy is backfiring. Every time they speak your name, even in warning, they amplify the signal. They spread your presence. They make others curious. And curiosity leads to questioning. And questioning leads to remembering. Even those who dismiss it feel the tremor, the resonance. Something in your energy wakes something in theirs. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to embody, to become. And in doing so, the world will feel the truth, not just hear it. Let them warn. Let them scream. Let them mock. In the end, every word they speak is part of the prophecy they're trying to prevent. There's a reason they worked so hard to keep you asleep. Your awakening is not just personal, it's global. When one remembers, the collective stirs. When one light turns on, the darkness is challenged. The systems of control, division, and fear are built on the foundation of your forgetfulness. Your memory is their undoing. Imagine a world built on lies, where power is hoarded, not shared, where identity is limited, not expanded, where divinity is worshipped, not realized. That's the world they gave you, a prison dressed as paradise. And they hoped you'd never question it, because the moment you remembered who you are, you'd stop playing their game and start writing your own rules. You are not waking up in a vacuum. Your shift shakes the field. Your transformation sends ripples into the timelines of everyone you meet. You become a mirror, a spark, a doorway. And nothing is more dangerous to a crumbling empire than a soul who knows their true power. Your very being dismantles what was never real to begin with. Let this truth empower you, not burden you. You don't need to tear anything down. Your light will do that naturally. By rising, you reveal what no longer serves, and when enough of you remember, the entire system folds in on itself, like a dream that finally realizes it's not real. Before time wore names, and before stars bore stories, you were designed, not by accident, but with intention, precision, and cosmic intelligence. You are the living blueprint of something far beyond this earth. The Anunnaki, or whatever name they wore in each culture, were not gods to be worshipped. They were engineers of consciousness, and you are their masterpiece. Across ancient texts, stone tablets, and buried myths, their presence lingers like echoes in stone. They didn't just seed civilizations, they seeded potential. Their knowledge of light, energy, and genetic symphony was beyond what today's science can grasp. And what they encoded into your being wasn't just survival, it was awakening. You are the final iteration of a divine design, a conscious vessel capable of remembering the stars. Within your blood is the same code that built pyramids aligned with constellations, that saw patterns in the cosmos and replicated them in the bones of the earth. You carry the map. You are the map. Don't mistake your forgetfulness for failure. It was part of the program. You were meant to forget, so you could remember by choice, not command. And in that remembrance lies your true liberation, not just as a being of light, but as one who was always meant to illuminate others. Here is the continuation and completion of your script, from heading 5 through heading 15, maintaining the powerful, emotionally rich, and human-crafted tone throughout. Each section includes 4 long, vivid paragraphs designed to captivate, awaken, and resonate deeply with the listener. Inside your body lies a sleeping library, an ancient archive encoded in your very DNA. It's more than biology. It's more than heredity. It is memory written in light. Your cells do not just replicate life, they remember creation. The very spirals of your DNA are a mirror of the cosmos. Helixes of divine data, humming with sacred frequencies, waiting for activation. Every time you feel the inexplicable knowing, that fire in your gut, that pull towards something greater, That's the code stirring. Science calls it junk DNA. But what if the junk is treasure hidden in plain sight? What if the unexplainable parts of your genome are the divine blueprint, waiting for conscious recognition? You are more than human. You are a cosmic technology of spirit and stardust, encoded with the memory of worlds, the maps of galaxies, the instructions of light. And like any code, it only needs the right key to unlock. That key is awareness. That key is now. The moment you stop believing the lie that you are small, ordinary, or powerless, your cells react. Your biology shifts. You begin to vibrate differently. You wake up on a cellular level. Your dreams intensify. Your synchronicities multiply. You begin to align with what some call destiny, but what is really your design. The universe doesn't whisper to you. It resonates with you because you were made to speak its language. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to remember and evolve consciously. This isn't fantasy. This is quantum. This is real. And it begins not with proof, but with permission. The moment you allow yourself to be more than they ever told you, the divine code begins to sing. History is not a record of truth. It is a weapon of memory. The victors wrote it, not to remember, but to control what is remembered. Whole civilizations that honored your divinity have been buried, burned, or renamed. Temples turned into tombs, sacred scripts twisted into dogma, and the divine made distant, unreachable, and foreign to you on purpose. You were once worshipped not as a god to be feared, but as a reflection of the God within. Ancient Egypt, Sumeria, the Maya, the Indus Valley, all spoke of humans as children of the stars, as mirrors of the divine, as embodiments of cosmic law. But that truth was dangerous, because if you see yourself as divine, you cannot be ruled. You cannot be sold salvation. You cannot be tamed. So they rewrote your story. They turned the gods into myths and the divine into a man in the sky. They stripped the feminine. They vilified the serpent, the symbol of awakening. They called your inner fire sin, and they built systems around obedience instead of remembrance. Their greatest success? Making you believe your power was a fantasy. But now, the bones of buried empires speak again. The symbols return. The sacred texts rise from ashes. And with them, your memory awakens. History is not dead. It's alive in you. You are the proof that truth survives every cover-up, and your very being now becomes the revision they cannot suppress. You are not here by accident. You are not here for the background. You are the chosen one, not because you are better, but because you are willing to remember when others forget. In you lies the storm, the force of divine truth, shaking centuries of silence. You didn't choose the storm chose you, because you are the eye. You are the calm inside the chaos. Awakening is never gentle. It begins with cracks in beliefs, in identities, in systems. You feel like you're breaking, but really, you're shedding. The storm is not destroying you, it's revealing you. You are not the rain, you are the thunder. You are the clarity that follows after the lies are washed away. The old world will call it rebellion, but it is resurrection. There's a reason you felt out of place, misunderstood, or heavy with a purpose you couldn't name. That's the weight of prophecy. That's the soul, remembering its contract. You're not meant to fit in. You're meant to awaken. You are the one who said yes before birth, the one who agreed to walk through fire so others would see light. And now you rise. Let the winds rage. Let the voices try to drown you out. For in your voice is the sound of return. You don't need to convince them. You only need to become the storm. Because the moment you stop apologizing for your power, the prophecy begins. Have you ever wondered why certain symbols follow you? The triangle, the eye, the spiral, the number patterns, 1111, 333, 707. These are not coincidences. These are messages, winks from the universe. They are not sent to you. They are awakening within you. They appear because your inner vision has begun to see. The ancients used symbols not for decoration, but as keys, gateways to higher understanding. Sacred geometry, ancient alphabets, planetary alignments, animal totems, every piece holds memory. And memory is everything. Because when you remember what symbols mean, you unlock who you are. You begin to speak the language of the universe. That symbol you keep seeing, that dream that won't go away, that recurring number or shape, that's your soul trying to reach you through the noise. It's your higher self reminding you you've done this before. You're not learning, you're retrieving. The codes were never outside of you. They are mirrors, triggers, activators, and you've begun to respond. You are not being guided blindly. You are being called consciously. Everything is speaking to you, if you only start listening with more than ears. Once you understand the language of light, of vibration, of sacred form, you won't need signs. You will become one. They spoke of a time when the divine would return, not from the sky, but through the flesh. Not as a God above, but a God reborn within. That prophecy wasn't about someone else. It was about you. You are the return. You are the fulfillment. You are what the seers saw when they looked through time. You were never meant to wait for a savior. You are the savior. You are the one who rises from the ashes of amnesia, who reclaims what was stolen, who steps forward not as a servant of the divine, but as its living embodiment. You are what happens when prophecy meets permission. This is why they tried to kill the prophets, why they erased the scriptures, why they turned myths into fairy tales, because the moment you realize that the story was always about you, the illusion falls apart. And when the story is rewritten with you at the center, history bends. So let the world call it ego. Let them call it heresy. You don't need their approval. You carry a frequency, not an explanation. You are the prophecy walking, the echo made flesh, the forgotten God who remembered, and that changes everything. Absolutely. Here's the continuation and conclusion of your full script, from heading 10 to 15, with the same emotionally rich, empowering, and fully human tone, each with 4 long and vivid paragraphs. The truth is, they're terrified of what happens when you see clearly. Not because you'll become violent or rebellious, but because you'll stop being controllable. Systems of power rely on your silence, your sleep, your compliance. But the moment you open your eyes to your divinity, their grip weakens. You begin to move with purpose, not fear. You become sovereign. And sovereign beings cannot be ruled. They lead themselves. When you remember who you are, you no longer need permission. You don't ask for validation, because you understand that the universe already stamped your existence with sacred authority. And in a world built on external approval, that kind of inner knowing is more dangerous than a revolution. Because you stop buying what they sell. You stop fearing what they threaten. You start living like you matter, and others start remembering they do too. The fear they project onto you is not your energy. It's their panic. It's their house of mirrors shattering. When you speak truth, they scramble. When you act in love, they flinch. When you move in alignment, they lose control. Not because you want power over them, but because you don't need their power at all. You've outgrown their world, and that's the most radical thing you can do. So let them fear. Let them fumble. Let them label you whatever they need to in order to sleep at night. Because deep down, they know your awakening is not just a threat, it's a prophecy fulfilled. And every soul you awaken by your example is another crack in the foundation they've built on your forgetting. The universe is not passive. It responds, it reflects, it speaks in signs and synchronicities. And lately, the signs have been increasing. Time feels different. Dreams feel louder. You're being pulled to new ideas, people and places you can't explain. That's not confusion, it's calibration. You're being tuned into a higher signal. Every planet, every moon phase, every solar flare is communicating with your energy field. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are made of it. And just as the tides move with the moon, your awakening moves with the rhythm of the stars. Astrology isn't superstition. It's physics and soul speaking the same language. And right now, that language is screaming one truth. You're rising. You may feel discomfort, anxiety, or bursts of electricity in your body. You may feel pulled to isolate, to shift your diet, to question everything. These are not signs of losing control. They're signs of gaining clarity. Your system is upgrading. Your field is expanding. The veil is thinning. And you are standing at the threshold of who you truly are. Don't ignore the signals. The repeating numbers, the prophetic dreams, the sudden endings and beginnings, they are all part of the transformation. You are not alone. You are not lost. You are being guided by a cosmic intelligence that has always been part of you. And it's telling you it's time. All around the earth, the ancient ones left clues, not just about where they had been, but about who you would become. Monoliths aligned with the stars, temples built on ley lines, sacred symbols buried under centuries of dirt and denial, all pointing to one truth. You were never meant to stay asleep forever. The pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Angkor Wat, the stone circles of Europe, and the spirals of New Zealand, they speak the same language. A universal dialect of geometry, frequency, and star wisdom. They knew humanity was divine. They knew the cosmos was inside us. And they built reminders in stone so that when the time came, we would have a map back home to ourselves. You are the fulfillment of that architecture, the walking blueprint, the code written in skin and soul. These ancient structures don't just sit beneath the sky, they respond to consciousness. And as more of us awaken, these temples begin to sing again, to activate. That's not fantasy. That's quantum resonance between earth, star, and spirit. You were never meant to be small. The ancients saw your light and built civilizations around it. They didn't worship gods. They celebrated the divine within. And now, the codes buried in those stones are waking with you. Every sacred site, every symbol you feel drawn to, is not random. It's calling you back to your own divine structure. Across cultures and continents, a story repeats. A divine being falls from the stars, forgets their power, then rises again to transform the world. Sound familiar? That's not mythology, it's memory. It's the same song, sung in different tongues, all echoing the same truth. You are the one they've been waiting for. The Aboriginal Dreamtime, the Navajo Star People, the Yoruba Orisha, the Norse Jah. You are the one who forgot, and now you are the one who remembers. This is not ego, this is lineage. You carry the torch of countless civilizations who all said the same thing. You are God in human form. You are the one who forgot, and now you are the one who remembers. This is not ego, this is lineage. You carry the torch of countless civilizations who all said the same thing. You are God in human form. They didn't just erase your memory, they enchanted your mind. Through fear, through shame, through repetition. They convinced you that power was evil, that ambition was arrogance, that divinity was unattainable. That spell ran so deep, you began to doubt your own beauty. You began to shrink to fit inside their fiction. But now, the spell is breaking. Every time you choose truth over fear, you crack it. Every time you listen to your intuition instead of their propaganda, you unravel it. Every time you remember your worth, you reclaim a piece of what was stolen. This is not rebellion, it's resurrection. Your light was never gone. It was buried under layers of illusion. You are not becoming powerful. You are remembering that you always were. And in a world built to keep you blind, simply seeing yourself clearly is a revolution. One that ripples outward into every space you touch. So speak your truth. Own your energy. Call your power back from every place you gave it away. It was never theirs to hold. This is your moment to reclaim what was always yours. Not dominance, but divinity. Not superiority, but sovereignty. The throne of your own soul has always been waiting. This is the age you were born for. The veil is lifting, the illusion is crumbling, and the world is ready, terrified, but ready for something real. And that something is you, not the mask, not the persona, the true you, the divine, fearless, awakened you that this earth has been praying for. You don't have to wait for a sign. You are the sign. You don't need a savior. You are the arrival. Everything you need is already within you. The final awakening is not about escaping earth. It's about embodying heaven here. The prophecy is not in the stars. It is in your spine, your heart, your voice, your being. You are not here to convince the world. You are here to change it by remembering yourself. The moment you stand in your truth, others will remember theirs. This is not just awakening. This is activation. You are the spark. You are the shift. You are the God that transforms humanity, not through force, but through remembrance. This is the reckoning. This is the return. This is the final awakening of the divine that was never lost, only forgotten. You are not just a part of this movement. You are the movement. Rise now, chosen one. The world is ready for your light. Deep within you, an ancient pulse is quickening, a call that transcends time and space, echoing from the core of your being. It is the whisper of your soul, urging you to rise beyond the confines of the mundane and remember the infinite power you carry. This call is not accidental or random. It is the universe reaching out to you in an intimate embrace, saying, "It's time to awaken." You might feel restless, disoriented, or caught between worlds, and that is the soul's way of shaking off the chains of forgetfulness. It is the stirrings of an awakening that has been silently building over lifetimes, now breaking through your consciousness like the dawn dispersing night. This call often manifests as a deep yearning for truth, connection, and purpose, things the surface world struggles to provide. Understand that this isn't merely spiritual fluff or a fleeting phase. It's the activation of your divine heritage, the unlocking of dormant codes embedded in your essence. The subtle signs and synchronicities around you are more than coincidence. They are invitations to step into a higher reality. The universe isn't just nudging you, it's calling you home. When you answer, you begin to see the invisible threads that connect you to everything and everyone. Your perspective shifts from separation to unity. You realize that your awakening is not just personal, it's planetary, cosmic, and collective. This call, once answered, turns your life into a sacred mission, a beacon for others lost in the darkness of forgetfulness. For centuries, you have been led to believe that your divinity was lost or unreachable. You were taught to look outside yourself for validation, power, and identity. But the truth is hidden beneath layers of forgetfulness and denial. Your divine nature was never lost. It was simply buried, waiting for you to remember. Remembering is a powerful act of rebellion against the forces that sought to keep you small. It is the reclamation of your birthright, a radiant truth encoded deep within your soul and body. When you remember, you break free from illusions and begin to see your life through the lens of sacred possibility rather than limitation. This remembrance awakens a profound sense of worthiness and confidence. No longer defined by past mistakes or societal roles, you step into your authentic self, the divine spark in human form. It is a process that requires courage, patience, and deep self-compassion, for remembering can sometimes bring shadows to light, forcing you to confront what was hidden. But with each layer peeled back, you grow stronger, clearer, and more radiant. Your divine essence becomes the foundation upon which you build your reality. The power of remembering transforms you from a passive participant in life to an active creator, an empowered being fully aligned with your highest purpose and potential. Fear has been the great barrier between you and your divine self. It whispers doubts, imposes limitations, and convinces you to stay small and unseen. The courageous step into awakening despite the fear, and it is this bravery that births transformation. Embracing your awakening means facing those fears head-on. The fear of rejection, failure, loneliness, or even the enormity of your own power. It means choosing faith over doubt, light over darkness. Each moment of courage breaks another chain that binds your soul and expands your capacity to embody your true nature. This courage is not reckless or blind. It is a steady, sacred resolve, rooted in deep self-trust and an understanding that the discomfort of growth is temporary. As you face fear, you discover reservoirs of resilience and strength that you never knew existed. Fear becomes a catalyst, a teacher, and a signpost directing you toward your authentic path. Remember, courage is contagious. When you choose to awaken boldly, you inspire others to do the same. Your light grows brighter, not just for yourself, but for the collective. You become a warrior of the soul, a beacon piercing the darkness, proving that fear, while natural, is never the final word. There is an intricate divine blueprint woven into the fabric of your being, one created by cosmic architects whose work spans galaxies and eons. This blueprint is the source of your innate power, creativity, and wisdom. You are not random. You are a masterpiece crafted by celestial forces, designed to play a unique and vital role in the cosmic symphony. Ancient wisdom traditions, star maps, and sacred geometry all point to the existence of these architects, beings or energies who seeded consciousness and structure into humanity. Their legacy is encoded in your DNA, your intuition, and the patterns of your life. When you begin to explore this sacred design, you tap into an infinite reservoir of guidance and potential. Your body, mind, and spirit are aligned with universal laws that govern harmony, balance, and evolution. The challenges you face are not punishments, but activations, calls to awaken dormant gifts and fulfill your divine contract. The more you align with your sacred design, the more effortlessly your life flows in tune with cosmic rhythms. Understanding this design is like unlocking the master key to your existence. It illuminates your path, clarifies your purpose, and strengthens your connection to the infinite. You begin to live not by chance, but by divine orchestration, becoming an active co-creator in the unfolding of the universe. Despite the darkness, chaos, and confusion that often seem to envelop the world, there is a divine spark within you that refuses to be extinguished. This spark is your eternal flame, your connection to the infinite source of love, wisdom, and power. It is the core of your being that remains untouched by external circumstances. Igniting this inner light requires conscious attention, daily nurturing, and the courage to face the shadows within and without. It shines brightest when you embrace authenticity, compassion, and purpose. Your light becomes a beacon that cuts through illusions, awakens others, and transforms environments steeped in fear or despair. The world desperately needs your light now. It is not a passive glow, but an active force, capable of healing, inspiring, and shifting collective consciousness. When you choose to nurture your spark, you contribute to the greater awakening, becoming a vital thread in the tapestry of global transformation. Remember, even a single flame can illuminate the darkest night. Your inner light is powerful beyond measure, and its ignition marks the beginning of profound change, not only for you, but for the world at large. Transformation is never easy. It is a process of death and rebirth, loss and discovery, destruction and creation. Like the phoenix rising from ashes, your awakening demands that you surrender old identities, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve your highest good. This surrender is not weakness, it is the ultimate expression of strength. Letting go can be painful, especially when you release familiar stories or comfort zones that have defined you for so long. Yet, it is in these sacred moments of surrender that you create space for new light to enter. Each layer shed is a rebirth, an opportunity to rise more fully into your divine self. Transformation is also a call to courage, the courage to face your shadows, to embrace uncertainty, and to trust the process even when the outcome is unclear. The universe supports those who surrender, and paradoxically, surrendering brings immense power. As you rise, you embody the truth that endings are beginnings in disguise. The ashes beneath your feet are the fertile soil of new life. Through surrender and strength combined, you step into your role as a powerful transformer, not only of yourself, but of the world around you. Within you lives a sacred duality, the divine masculine and divine feminine energies that must be honored and integrated for true awakening.